Today we are going to enter in our lecture number 3. In today's lecture, we are going to focus on how to get preparation for CTET examination. Today my lecture basically focus on the total examination pattern. When we are entering into the examination pattern, when we want to understand the examination sequence, the examination knowledge, the examination oriented understanding, the examination oriented application. First we have to know the education process, because CTET examination is pioneer examination. If you get the qualification of CTET, you are able to work as a teacher in government sector and in non-government sector. In India, sometimes if you get opportunities in abroad, at regional and also at national, at everywhere you are going to get opportunities in anywhere, in any sector by having the qualification of CTET. So passing CTET is very, very important for our career if you want to become a teacher. Friends, education is dynamic in nature. Education is a knowing process. As a teacher, when you are channelizing the knowledge from one generation to another generation, you have to change according to the patterns. You have to change dynamics according to the situation. And science always develops, mathematics always develops, social sciences reflects the change of this society, languages are very important to opt. Against this background, being a teacher, you should be eligibility to understand these sequences of dynamic change. So many contradictions are there. You have to suit your teaching for different type of contradictions. So education is a changing pattern, a changing phenomena. Against this background, you have to understand our teacher pedagogy, teaching pedagogy or teaching and pedagogy. Basically, how it is getting changed according to the situation. Because you already did your diploma in education or diploma in elementary education, and also you have completed your Bachelor of Education. Against your background, you did lot of hard work to get B.Ed certificate as well as D.Ed certificate. You did lot of hard work, you got certificate. Now you are going to enter into the ground to prove yourself as a teacher. So it is very important on your part to understand what are the changes are going here, because our CTET examination paper year to year changing in a different manner. It is including all the changes because it has a lot of inclusiveness in nature. So our paper basically focuses questions in 3 areas. One is knowledge area. Being a student of B.Ed, being a student of D.Ed, how knowledge you already got when you were in B.Ed, when you were in D.Ed. So knowledge based questions are here. At the same time, you have to understand the questions in a novel way. By understanding the question, by knowing the answers, you have to basically identify the beauty of the question. At the same time, sometimes you have to apply simultaneously. By knowing and understanding, you have to go for application. Application orientation question, understanding orientation questions, as well as knowledge orientation questions are here. Some questions are very easy to answer. Some questions without understanding you cannot answer them. But some application questions are there. You have to apply your total attention to receive it. Against this background, first you have to understand what are the basic changes occurring in our child psychology or child development and pedagogy. Here we prepared a beautiful table here. Here I explaining some of the points under traditional approach. This was the approaches, this was the information what teachers has practiced previously. Now this phenomena was moved to this place. So basically this phenomena is moved to this place, and now we are going to understand these things from this phenomena to this phenomena. So we have to understand that what is constructive approach, this present approach, and what was traditional approach, the previous approach. And when you are able to understand the difference between the previous teaching style and the modern teaching style, the traditional teaching style and the constructive teaching style, you can answer different type of questions with perfect understanding and application. Friends, our teaching was previously has given importance to methodology. Method means way of presentation. Previously, teacher role was pertain to present the subject, because in those days or basically in previous days, teacher focused how to present the subject. So the presentation way, the way of presentation is known as a method. So those days, previously, methodology has gotten important for the approach of the teaching. But now we shifted from methodological base to pedagogy base, because here in pedagogy base we give importance to child. In methodological base we have given importance to teacher as well as subject. Teacher is important, subject is important, but child is more important in the phenomena of teaching and learning process, because teacher is meant for child, subject is meant for child. Without understanding child, there is no need to present subject for him. Without understanding child, your teaching is meaningless. So the child-centric education always seeks a new concept of teaching that can be provided through pedagogy. So pedagogical concept of teaching provides importance to learner child. Methodological way of teaching provides importance to teacher as well as subject. Now we have to focus child-centric education. The present education system is child-centric education. To address child-centric education, we need pedagogy. In our examination paper, in seated paper, in paper 1 or paper 2, at D.Ed level or B.Ed level, if there is a question regarding what is very important for the present context of teaching and learning, simply you have to answer child is more important. Teacher is important, subject is important, but child is more important, because everything around is surrounded by the child. Because of that, now we give importance to pedagogy. Now the present system of education is nothing but pedagogy orientation of education, pedagogy orientation of teaching and learning. You have to give importance, and that is the basic objective in front of any teacher. Previously, the lecture method was there. Lecturer has to deliver his goods. Teacher has to deliver his goods. At the time, our role is only passive. Students are very passive. They have to simply listen. Teacher has to deliver the goods. The role of learner is passive. But in child-centric education, learner is ultimate. The entire system is made for him, because in this system we give most importance to active orientation. So here learner plays active role. Here teacher plays active role. In teacher-centric education, in subject-centric education, the old approach we followed, but the modern way, that is constructive way, we give priority to learner. Learner should be active. So we have to give all the learning experiences for his activeness. This is a very, very important table. If you understand this table, I think majority of the questions you are going to answer in the wake of this light. You have to understand this. Here, knowledge transfer is important. In those days, teacher was the only resource of knowledge. He has to transfer his knowledge to shishas, students, because he was the only resource of knowledge. But nowadays, teacher is not only single resource. There are so many resources are there. Teacher is among one of the resources, very important resource. So here, knowledge construction is important. Here, knowledge transfer is important. But here, child construct his knowledge from teacher, from textbooks, from environment, from his fellow beings, from internet, from so many resources. He collects knowledge and he constructs them. So the present days, our learning based on construction, not transfer. And if you see the previous question papers of our CTET. If you see the previous question papers of our CTET, basically you are going to understand that how this sentence is important, because everything now under construction, knowledge construction is more important in the modern period, because previously we said that knowledge transfer, teacher simply transfer knowledge, but here learner, he does not depend only on teacher. By receiving so many resources, he construct his own knowledge. So construction of knowledge is very important. Here, teacher is a sage. Teacher is a sage means teacher is holy. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. Here, teacher is a facilitator and guide, because in the previous days, not only in India, in ancient education systems like Egypt, Greece, and other countries, all they treated teacher is a sage. Teacher is ultimate. Okay, teacher is great, teacher is good. But nowadays, teacher has to help student as a guide, as a facilitator. Because there are so many resources are here. Books are here, and internet facilities here, library facilities here, and also your seniors are here, your fellow beings are here, your classmates are here. So many resources are there. So learner has to learn all these things. Because of that, teacher makes a learner how to use these resources. So here the role of teacher is a facilitator and a guide. But previously the role of teacher was as a sage. Sage means holy person. But here teacher is a friend, guide and a facilitator. This is the change between the present education and the ancient education. And those days we have given importance to lecture method, and messages are very important. Through lecture, teacher has to give some morals. Through lecture, teacher has to give some messages. Learner has to receive them according to his convenience. But here, the message and lecture is not important, because learner has to construct some standards by learning so many things. Now, we are calling this as basically, a learner can achieve all these things when he involves in it. The involving of learner can be possible through discussion and questioning. Here, learner is passive. He does not involve, just he listens. But here, learner participates through discussions and questioning. So, lecture method and messages are important, but here discussions and questionings are important, because discussions and questionings make a learner as an active participant in the process of teaching a learner. Here, we give some importance to teaching objectives. When I was in B.Ed, and the students, some who completed their B.Ed in the previous years, our target was only achieve the objectives. Teacher enter into the classroom by having objectives, and finally he tests his objectives whether he achieved that objectives or not. By lost in evaluation process, he asks some questions. If he receives proper answers, he feels that my objectives are fulfilled. But now, importance is academic standards. Academic standards means in the process of it, in the process of teaching and learning, learner has to hold some of the information. He has to possess some standards. He has to achieve some standards. So, what is the objective of teaching and learning? In those days, teaching objectives. But now, achieving academic standards. Academic standard is a word you have to remember. You have to note down this word. Academic standards are very, very important in the process of teaching and learning. And those days, teacher questions, students answers. Here, teacher is active, naturally, students are passive. But here, students question. So, students questions, because students involves here. So, those days, we have given importance to students, teacher question, but now, we have to encourage learner to ask questions. Questioning is the symbol for change. Questioning is a symbol for inquiry. Questioning is a symbol for dynamicism. We have to encourage students to question. So, if in examination, if you face question, students are asking questions, what teacher has to do? Teachers have to basically encourage students to have this type of asking questions environment. We have to encourage students, not discourage. When students are raising questions, we have to encourage to ask. At the same time, here method is important. Method means basically we have to go a way of presentation. But here approach is very important. Approach means we have to reach the students. Students have to reach teacher. The approach of reaching each other is very important. But by having a prescribed method, you should not go like that. Approach, becoming close to teacher and students to learn academic standards, to achieve academic standards, to learn each other, and also to deliver goods, to exchange goods, we give importance to approach. So those days we have given importance to lesson plan, but now we are giving to period plan. And what is period plan means what is the teaching you are going to deliver, what are the learning experience you are going at the particular period, that is very important. So those days we have given importance to basically methodological teaching and lesson plan orientation teaching and motivational teaching. But now we are giving importance to mind mapping. I am using the word mind mapping. Concept mapping, mind mapping are the new important dynamic elements of the modern teaching, the constructive teaching. Mind mapping means when a learner wants to learn something, mentally he has to prepare to receive the thing. Mental preparation to receive something is known as mind mapping. He has to involve his mind to receive something. He has to prepare his atmosphere. He has to prepare himself to learn something. He has to prepare his mind for that. And conceptual understanding, to understand a concept, your atmosphere, your teaching aids, and your teaching styles, your methods, your approaches, everything make a child to involve in a concept. On that conceptual atmosphere, he learns something. So mind mapping, conceptual mapping are most important elements of at present. So we are giving importance for mind mapping. And those days we have given importance to Herbert steps. And previously in B.Ed courses as well as in D.Ed courses, we have given lot of importance to Herbert steps are there. Now also Herbert steps are here. But in so many countries, particularly the advanced countries like Finland and like that, they are involving students by using Roger Baby's steps like engage. When you are involving in the teaching process, you have to engage the students, and also you have to give chance to students to explore the situation. Then after you have to explain regarding the concept, and you have to, if students demand, of students basically involve more and more, you have to explain, you have to elaborate it, and finally you have to evaluate the concept. So this engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate, these 5 concepts are known as Roger Baby's 5 E concepts, 5 educational concepts. The modern education, the modern teaching should follow this. And Herbert steps, still they are in existence, but to compare to Herbert steps, in these steps you can give more scope to students to participate in it. And examinations, annual examinations have had basically gotten very important importance of those days. Annual examinations are important. But now we are giving importance to basically year assessment orientation. How you are going to assess a student? You are going to observe how he is interacting with the teacher and himself, and how students are interacting themselves, and how there is an interaction between subgroups, and also what is the importance of technology, how student and technology. Because of technology now I am interacting with you in the modern days, and also students and environment. So here we give importance to formative and summative examination system, which are basically most important to assess a child continuously. So previously we had only annual examination system, but now we are having the formative and summative examination system. In this summative and formative examination system, we are going to assess the interaction between students and teacher, students and subgroups, students and technology, students and environment. The total curriculum experiences, we are going to have it. And also here marks are important, but here we give importance to grades. Because of that, in recent days in 10th class or in intermediate also in some states, In some countries, they are giving importance to grades instead of marks. So here, exclusive classrooms are available, but here, inclusive classrooms are important. In our lecture number 2, I made you to explain, to learn what is exclusive education and what is inclusive education. Now the present education is inclusive education. Here, pass and fail are important. The entire education system based on pass and fail. But in the modern education system, particularly under constructive approach, pass and fail are not important. Appear and reappear is important because learning is a process. Child learns in the process of is learning academic activities. So naturally, we won't give importance to fail, or we won't encourage students for pass. Just we make examination system is a smooth way. Because of that, we call it as appear and reappear concept. And here we have given importance to cognitive domain. Cognitive domain means the domain which involves brain and brain orientation activities. But the total personality basically having 3 important domains, cognitive, affective and psychomotor. So here we give importance to comprehensive domains, cognitive, affective and psychomotor domains, we can get importance here. And also here classroom examples are important. But what we have learned at present that not only the formal method of learning, and also we have to encourage informal method of learning also. So now in the new textbooks of our B.Ed, there is a chapters in our pedagogy books, that is formal resources of teaching and learning, informal resource of teaching and learning. The same way here you have to know that the importance to basically formal and informal. Because of that, we give importance to multi-learning material and also field experiences we give. And here basically when behavioral approach was dominated in the field of teaching and learning, we have given importance to stimulus. When teacher and environment stimulus students are going for response. But now stimulus and response is basically, it has its own limitation. Because of that, the modern teachers, the modern education scientists, they discovered that response should be natural, and students learning is natural activity. Because of that, response is also natural. Friends, these are the very important sentences what I have written on this blackboard in the form of digital. You have to learn. If you have completed your B.Ed, if you have completed a D.Ed previously long back, this was the subject what you have referred. You have to change your mindset to understand this. If you are modern B.Ed and recently you have completed B.Ed, recently you have completed DL or this diploma in elementary education, these are all known factors to you. When in examination paper questions are coming, basically you have to know this approach, because on the background of this philosophical orientation, for the background of this psychological orientation, for the background of this pedagogical orientation, for the background of this new concepts of education, you can become good teacher. And in our examination questions, they ask you, they test you, they assess you, and also basically they examine you whether you are aware of these concepts or not. If you are aware of these concepts, you are going to qualify the examination. If you are not aware of these things, you are an outdated teacher. Your knowledge is not indated, because you are not suitable to understand, to fit in the present system of teaching and learning. So this is traditional teaching, this is modern teaching, this is methodological orientation teaching, this is pedagogy orientation teaching. My sincere appeal to all my student friends that you have to understand each and every sentence or concept what I presented in the form of this constructive approach. You go through this approach, you try to understand this approach, and you have to understand all these concepts in a novel way. Definitely in examination, our questions related to child development and pedagogy are going to become easier to you, because when you are appearing for competitive examination, every competitive examination has its own way of understanding questions. So when you are going to attempt our examination, you have to attempt our examination paper as a progressive teacher, as a modern teacher, as a comprehensive teacher, as a facilitator. So this knowledge is very, very important to you to present your personality, to present your understanding, application, knowledge in examination paper. So I kindly appeal you and sincerely I advise you that you go through this paragraph, you go through these points as a philosophical framework, as a examination framework. Definitely you are going to become thorough to answer your questions. So by having this approach, by having the knowledge of these things, by knowing these issues, definitely you are going to do questions in well way. Now I want to present some of the model questions for your understanding. So when we are going to understand these things, and being a seated aspirant, you have to understand the style of questions. Now I want to give some model questions to you, and these model questions are basically based on our previous question papers, and I have taken some questions as a model. For example, in the last examination, the fresh examination, December 2019 seated paper was here, and so December 2019 another question I have taken, and this question is taken from July 2019, this question is taken from December 2018, this from 2016, just some of the model questions I am presenting in front of you. Because reading is science, examination is art. Sometimes examination is science, reading is art, because education is sometimes science, sometimes arts also. So here, to know your knowledge levels and to know your understanding levels, some of the questions, just as a sample I am presenting in front of you. Questions asked like this. You see this question. Which of the following is a stage of moral development proposed by Kohlberg? Kohlberg is a famous psychologist, and he made a lot of research especially in moral development with a sociological angle. This is a question based on knowledge based, because when you read the theory of Kohlberg, basically you are going to answer this. If you are failed to understand, to recognize who is Kohlberg, you cannot answer it, because knowledge based questions are also here. In our syllabus, there are some psychologists are there. They have given a lot of theories, and on the basis of these theories, they ask questions. So, which of the following stage of moral development basically proposed by Kohlberg? Answer is very simple. That is latency stage. The second is social contract orientation. Third is concrete operational stage. Fourth is inferiority stage. And if you are unknown to Kohlberg theory, you feel that these four are very unfamiliar to you. Just you read Kohlberg theory once in your education preparation time, these are familiar to you. You can answer very easy. Why I have chosen this question? Because being a student, you have to understand the total syllabus. Sometimes what our students generally they do, just they take old question papers and they make practice of old question paper, they go to examination. For the type of students, this type of questions are very puzzling. When you read Kohlberg moral development theory in a perfect manner, then only you are going to answer it, because at least you have to understand the concepts of all these things. The answer is very simple, that is social contract orientation. That is the stage of having moral development said by Kohlberg. I am not focusing on answer. The concept, why I have chosen this question, because you have to read syllabus totally. You have to read, you have to understand, you have to listen the total classes. Otherwise, you cannot answer this. If you are failed to recognize who is Kohlberg, you cannot understand his theory. You are failed to understand his theory, you cannot answer this question, because all these are unfamiliar to you if you are not touched the theory of Kohlberg. So, in my lectures of future, I am going to explain all these theories, and in textbooks also these are there. You read textbooks, or else you have to basically you have to follow our lectures to have a thorough understanding. to do this type of understanding questions. Yeah, the sociological basic question is there. Again, I am saying our subject name is child development and pedagogy. It is based on 4 important pillars. What are they? Philosophical base, sociological base, psychological base, as well as technological base. This question is sociological base. During classroom discussion, a teacher often pays more attention to boys than girls. This is an example of December 2019 they asked this question. Friends, we have in Indian society and so many countries, our societies are basically patriarchal societies. The male is dominating. But according to educational idea and social idea, according to Indian constitution, male and female both are equal. And if teacher is giving importance to only boys, he feels that boys are more comfortable, more intelligent than the girls. If he is not giving importance to girls at the time of his teaching, he is not involving girls, he is only involving boys, that shows us very simple gender bias. Because as a teacher, you have to give importance to girls and boys equal, because all are your students. You are giving importance to one sex, you are not giving importance to another sex. If you are giving importance to boys, if you are not giving importance to girls, if you are feeling girls are inferior, boys are superior, that is not a teacher role. Teacher should not be biased, is unbiased, is a neutral. He has to go according to his teaching ethics, and some wrong principles are all existing in the society. Teacher has to change them. So if teacher does this type of activities, he is practicing gender bias. So by having social knowledge, by having constitutional knowledge, by having progressive thoughts, as a teacher aspirant, you can do the answer for it. Because this type of questions are very important to understand. This type of questions are showing that what type of attitude teacher should have. There is a question based on sociology, and also this is a question based on attitude of a teacher. So what type of attitude teacher has to possess? This is the example of that question, a wonderful question they have given in December 2009. And another question is there, which of the following strategies would promote meaning making in children? A wonderful word, meaning making in children. Meaning making in children, it's a concept. So, yeah, pedagogical orientation question. You have to understand that our teaching and also learning of the students should give meaning. It should give orientation. The answers are here. How the child can involve in the process of learning. Uniform and standardized testing. If you organize a best examination paper, it is suitable for making a child meaningful. If you give an opportunity to a student in the process of exploration and discussion, that can make student to involve, to express his views, or transmission of the information. It means by passing information and using punitive measures. If you punish a student, that is related to making a child meaningful. It means nothing but how you are involving a child to participate in the process of learning. In the things, this is imposed by you. This is also imposed by teacher. This is imposed by teacher. This is imposed by teacher. This is imposed by teacher. But in second, exploration and discussion, student involves himself. So when student is involving in this process, his learning is meaningful, and his childhood, his learning standards are basically explored at the time of that. So the second is answer for it. So this is saying that the third question I have taken as example because our present education system is child-centric education. If our present education system is teacher-centric education, subject-centric education, the remaining are very important. If ours is subject-centric education, the transmission of information is important. If ours is teacher-centered education, punishment is important. If ours is examination-centric education, this is important. But our present system of education is child-centric education. Because of that, this is the right answer. Very simple to understand. What I said, I have given a table. If you read that table, you can answer these questions in an easy manner. And another question is there, that is, children acquire their future roles through all the following except. The future roles means one child wants to become an engineer, one child wants to become a lawyer, one child wants to become a doctor, one child wants to become a good agriculture basic worker, and one child wants to do something. So they imagine themselves what I have to do in future. So how you can have the type of things, and here the question except. So three are related, one is not related. This is media related, socialization related, culture related, and tutoring means basically imposing, that is not related. So the answer is the number one, tutoring. So tutoring means imposing or basically transforming. Here there is no role of a student by involving himself. In remaining three things, culture he adopts, socialization he involves, media he learns. By these three things, students can have vision regarding their future roles. So this is wrong answer. This is also a very important question to understand. And finally, and this is inclusive education, because I already told you, in child development and psychological orientation, you are going to get 15 marks. In pedagogy, you are going to get 10 marks, 25. And 5 marks are meant for the concept of inclusive education. So here I have taken one question from inclusive education in September 2016 paper. That is, inclusion of children with special needs. A, it is detrimental to the children without disabilities, will increase the burden on schools, requires a change in attitude, content and approach to teach, and also last is it is an unrealistic goal. The right answer is 3, because inclusive education means, in first video, in my first lecture I told that in the society there are so many contradictions are there. So many students are from so different type of backgrounds. Some are from urban, some are from rural, some are physically challenged, some are mentally retarded, some are very brilliant, some are, because of so many reasons, they are not updated learners, they are slow learners. You have to make all these children under one umbrella, because within their interactions each other, in a common school system, in a common learning setup, automatically there is a scope to change their attitudes, content and approaches. So basically teaching should allow students to change themselves by learning from that environment. So if the students are having the same environment, their learning experiences are same, they mingle each other. At the same time, if there are some physical differences are there is some mental difference are there, some social difference are there, by taking that into the consideration, you have to give your teaching orientation to them according to giving their individual differences as a set of understanding. So these questions are here. Simply I am saying that in our CTET paper, this type of questions you are going to face. In our subject, child development and pedagogy, for D.Ed level, paper 1, for B.Ed level, paper 2, they ask, I think if you understand the syllabus thoroughly, I think if you listen lessons correctly, I think you involve in the process of the basically adopting all these things in a novel way, definitely you are going to learn in easy manner. So Ramaya Coaching Center is a pioneer coaching center in the city of Hyderabad. Hyderabad is the dynamic city in the process of education prosperous. So in this Ramaya Coaching Center, we are going to provide online coaching to you, and already stored videos are with our lectures, and we conduct examinations also in online way, and also we involve students by receiving your comments, and also we give coaching according to your needs, according to the syllabus. And if you want to join in our classes, particularly regarding child development and pedagogy, I welcome you to use this link which is flowing under this lecture, and you can take that link and you can join in Ramaya Coaching Center, and you can have classes. And I make so many videos for each and every chapter, from first chapter to last chapter. There are 22 chapters are there. In 22 chapters I make so many videos according to comfortable understanding and application to get knowledge. If you want to join in this online courses or process, just you have to like it, and also you have to take the link and you have to join this app. And also I am going to provide one phone number to you. Basically this is okay. At the same time, and now I am going to write one phone number to you for your convenience, and that is this is the number of this Ramaya Competitive Examination Center, 9963 766 and 770. Again I am saying, if you want to join in this course, you have to take this number, that is basically 99996376667770. This is the number. If you want to join in this course, you can join. The students of various parts of India, and if you want to join, just you have to adapt to S0 here to call, make it. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Thar Desert to Aizawl, I welcome all these students. If they want to join in our courses, just you make a ring to this phone, or you take the link which is available in my video, and just you join here, and I am going to explain each and after. I am going to make so many videos, and definitely as a teacher, as a facilitator, as a guide, definitely I help you and I give orientation regarding our seated syllabus, particularly our child development and pedagogy. Thank you, one and all.
ఇప్పటి నుంచి అంటే ఆఫ్లైన్ ఎలా అయితే సక్సెస్ అయ్యామో, ఎలా అయితే మాకు ఆ సీక్రెట్ తెలుసో, ఇప్పటి నుంచి ఆన్లైన్ కోచింగ్లో కూడా అదే లెక్చరర్స్తోని అదే మెటీరియల్స్, అవే ఆన్లైన్ టెస్ట్లు, అంటే టెస్ట్లు కూడా ఆన్లైనే రాసుకునేటట్టు మీకు స్పెషాలిటీసు మన యాప్లో డెవలప్ చేశాము. సో ఇప్పుడు మనకు యాప్లో ఏముంటాయంటే, కోచింగ్ అంటే వీడియోస్ రూపంలో మేము కోచింగ్ ఇస్తాం, మెటీరియల్స్ కూడా పీడిఎఫ్ రూపంలో ఇస్తాం, టెస్ట్లు కూడా మీరు డైరెక్ట్ ఆన్లైన్ టెస్ట్లు మీరు అందులోనే యాప్లోనే మీరు రాసుకోవచ్చు. యాప్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకుంటే మీరు ఆన్లైన్ టెస్టులతో పాటు మెటీరియల్స్తో పాటు సబ్జెక్ట్ సంబంధించిన వీడియోస్ కూడా మీకు అందుబాటులోకి తీసుకొస్తున్నాము. సో మీరందరూ రామయ్య కాంపిటేటివ్ కోచింగ్ సెంటర్ యాప్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. యాప్లో అంటే ప్లే స్టోర్లోకి వెళ్ళి మీరు డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. కింద లింక్ కూడా ఇచ్చాము, మరొకసారి చెప్తున్నాను, కింద లింక్ కూడా ఇచ్చాము. ఆ లింక్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే మీరు యాప్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. మరిన్ని అప్డేట్స్ కోసం రామయ్య కాంపిటేటివ్ కోచింగ్ సెంటర్ యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి, లైక్ చేయండి, షేర్ చేయండి. ఏం ప్రాబ్లం అంటే ఏమి మీకు డౌట్ ఉన్నా కూడా కామెంట్ బాక్స్లో కామెంట్ చేయండి. థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ వాచింగ్.